Evening, everyone. This is the October 26, 2016 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live, Richard, and also being recorded for further viewing at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before we begin the public hearings for this evening, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. Okay. With everyone shaking their heads no. The first item on the agenda is the 7 p.m. public hearing. David Rosenberg for Prime Motor Group, a notice of intent for the redevelopment of an existing car dealership located on Washington Street and 10th Ave here in Auburn. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Mr. Berta.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're back to talk about the Prime Motor Group project, and since we're here last, let me bring you up to date on what we've done.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily affect your board, but it does affect, you'd be interested in how we proceeded at this point in time. I think we have acquired the special permits needed to do the project from the Zoning Board of Appeals. We have met with the planning board. Peer review engineering has been undertaken. There's been first report, then a response, and a second report and a similar response. Basically, and Garrett Horsfall from Kelly Engineering Group will speak to that in a minute, but it's basically just cleaning up some detail in that report. Stormwater management system is fine. Those other drainage issues are fine, that kind of stuff. So the planning board peer review was not completed in time for us to finish with that board this week. So we are going back to them on November 15th.
Okay.
With the hope that we finish with the planning board at that time.
Now, peer review was done by Graves Engineering?
Peer review was done by Graves Engineering. As I said, we're down to a few items. Garrett can speak to that.
All right.
Nothing of any material nature. And as I understand it, nothing relating to the wetland proposal that we've made here.
Okay.
Calculations for drainage and all that stuff, we're in agreement with that.
Very
So I'll
good.
let Garrett speak to the technical issues and
Okay.
speak after he finishes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, Garrett Horsfall with Kelly Engineering Group. Generally, after the Graves review, which we first received on October 7th, there were about 40-something comments. We responded to those on the 14th with a revised set of plans. Ultimately, the layout did not change at all, and with the exception of just adding a few guardrails and the like for planning board purposes. And once again, we have, just for everyone's reference, Washington Street on the bottom, the proposed dealership in the middle with these two storage lots off of Hillcrest Ave, and the site's also bounded by Faith Ave. Our revised plans to Graves, all of the subsurface recharge systems are made the same with the amount of chambers and volumes, and also the pond remained the same. There's one outstanding item with Graves right now related to our stormwater report, which is just the elevation of the spillway related to the berm. They would like to see a full foot of separation between the top of the berm and the spillway, and really all that is just raising the top of the berm half a foot. It will not affect the pond volumes or any of the outlet control structures. And generally, this is actually the same exact grading plan we brought to the first meeting, just because the systems stayed the same. Essentially, we only added a couple manholes just to address some velocity questions they had with our pipe system. But generally, we think the remaining comments with the planning board and that one stormwater-related comment are very minor in nature, and we'd actually hope that you guys would close the public hearing tonight with the option of basically having the remaining items be conditions of approval on the final plan.
Okay. So the detention basin is going to be installed where there's an existing building on the adjacent property where the transmission business was, correct?
The detention system will actually be below. Just the existing transmission building is up here.
Okay, so it'll be behind it.
Yeah, so it'll actually be well behind it, half in the buffer zone, half up it.
Okay.
To your reference, just this is the edge of woods today, so it would be essentially an undeveloped land.
Okay. Mr. Fallon and I walked the site probably a good month ago, and what, as you know, there's just a sharp drop-off between where the dealership is located and where the Welland area is, a significant drop-off. And so for that reason, I think it was easy to determine where, the Imperius area ended and where the Welland area began, certainly. I mean, I have no questions. I think based on my site visit, what you've submitted, and what I saw, they're in agreement, basically. So I don't know if any members of the commission have any questions. Okay. All right, any comment from the audience? All right, and based on that resounding silence, Attorney Broder, do you have any further comments to make?
The only further comment I would have is, as Garrett has already said, a condition of approval would be the plan is conforms to what you see here and any other comments that are incorporated by.
So is this going to be your final plan, or are you going to have to amend it?
There will be one minor change to this plan. This spot grade will be adjusted by 1/2 foot. There'll be 4 spot grades around the berm, adjusted 1/2 foot. And the only item that may come from the planning board that we see potentially is adding a chain link fence. Or that's at the top of the retaining wall. It's actually shown on our detail sheet.
Right.
But we've added a guardrail, but they're asking for a fence as well, so.
Okay. If no one has any questions, is there a motion to close? Motion to close.
Yeah, I moved to close the meeting.
Okay, I didn't think it was that hard. Is there a second?
Second that.
Any discussion?
Who closed it?
Tom did.
Tom closed it. All right.
Carolyn
I second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks very much, I appreciate it.
Let's see if I kept my order of conditions from last week, although I'm voting Tom in this week. Sheila, did I give you that sheet of order of conditions back? You did or didn't? I've got plenty.
Yes. Yes, we want to.
Stuff for me.
Good night, Larry. Good night, Garrett.
Good night.
Thank you. We've got about 5 minutes here before our next hearing. Dustin Mitchell, is that correct?
Yes.
Is here regarding 71 West Street. I don't know if you got over there to do a site inspection.
It's kind of wet this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So why don't you come on up?
Actually, brought some pictures just to show if you'd like to,
No, I like
if you haven't seen it, but I didn't bring a board because I figured you may want to take a look at them a little more closer. But my name is Dustin Mitchell, I'm the applicant. I brought Mike there here, one of our construction supervisors, and we recently restored. I recently submitted a certificate of compliance to complete the site. We have since been back to, this was the original spill that happened last year on the side of the Mass Pike.
Right.
And,
Thanksgiving
We-
weekend, wasn't it?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't it Thanksgiving weekend?
It was just after. Yeah, I think it was the next weekend. I think it was November 30th, actually. So we've since been back to fix the grate on the side of the Mass Pike. We installed the geomatting that the company that I hired, Hydrograss, installed this. This is what we proposed with a 6-inch spike. And we planted all the plantings at the bottom of the hill that was recommended and approved by the commission, along with what was recommended by Ecotech, which is a company that we hired to come up to the board when I came here originally. So we have submitted all that. We actually submitted a plan from Ecotech stating that everything was completed. Backfill was completed, grade hydrograss, hydro-seeded the embankment. It looks good. Grass, from what we were talking, is already started. And we submitted an email from Ken stating, Ken from Auburn Water was gracious enough to give me an email stating that he was approved of everything. And so forth, so everything looks good. And we're just looking to see if we could close out with the certificate of compliance and go from there.
We had hoped to, or speaking for myself, I had hoped to get out this past weekend, and of course we had, as you know, the heavens opened up on Friday, and I wasn't able to get out there on Saturday. So what we typically do, and I understand there's, I guess, an insurance issue too, so
Yes, there is.
we typically do site inspections before we can issue a certificate of compliance. I mean, you've obviously produced, evidence indicating that the work that was proposed has been done and was done properly. If any members of the commission wish to chime in, please be my guest.
Picture. And then I think I emailed everybody that correspondence from Ken Smith.
Right, and he's satisfied.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Right.
You have any questions?
No?
Okay. Well, if that is the case, is there a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for this project?
71 West Main Street.
Yep.
Rear.
I make
This is what
a motion that we issue the certificate of compliance for, sorry, did you say?
71 West Main Street.
71 West
Rear.
Main Street.
Okay.
West
West Street,
West
not West
Main.
Main.
I'm sorry, West Street.
Okay.
Thanks, Sheila.
I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
I've got a minute, if they'll sign this right now, I'll run and make a copy.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So it's complete certification, it's on the bottom there.
It's printing mine out. You can find them easier.
Yeah, throw on my name. Thanks.
A little messier than normal.
Agreement on the Forest Park, the street sign with,
They're supposed to clean it
and
and maintain it.
now they cut some trees down and is that actually,
It's a channel that could be water, but I think we have jurisdiction over it.
do they need to get a permit to cut the trees and trim the trees and stuff like that?
I don't know if they need to get a permit. If they would just keep it out of the drainage swale, it wouldn't be an issue.
I think you're right. I think he's right about that. That's how I remember that from last year. They just couldn't throw it in that.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as they took it all away, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They cut some trees and I saw a man trimming some branches off a tree in there today.
okay.
But
Well, if you see, if they're doing it
As long
again,
as they keep the channel clean.
Yeah.
It was this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's part of it.
It does. Okay. Thank you very much. According to the town here, right?
So the Worcester Registry of Deeds, it's the take the,
Okay. Sounds good. I'll have to find out. I know who did it was Paul last time. so-
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're
Take
welcome.
care. Bye-bye, have a good night.
you too. Thank you.
All right, that's good. One last time.
Okay. I have two of these. Did anybody have
What?
any? Huh?
I'll come with us too.
I got two.
Good evening. Uh-oh. Not me. No. Come on, be nice to me.
I have 7:15, so the next item on our agenda is request for determination filed by Mike Lucier of Lucier and Sons Construction for the construction of a single-family dwelling, driveway, well, and septic system on property located at 100 Old Common Road in Auburn. Is there a motion to open? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you say your name for the record?
Yep, Peter from Burton Engineering.
And the project is a single-family, three-bedroom house on Old Common Road. House septic, the well is about 125 feet from the wetland. And it was the recommendation of the Board of Health to get an RDA to confirm a negative determination for filing an NOI.
Sure. We, several of us went out to the property a few weeks ago, and I guess my main question is, where are you going to put those huge boulders that are on the property?
They're gonna be split, I'm Mike Lucy, I'm the owner of the building.
Mr. Lucier?
They're gonna be split and removed.
Okay. Okay, very good.
But we're gonna find a lot more when I dig the cellar hole, so we'll only pay once to rent the hammer.
I was impressed by the size of those rocks.
That was till I dug them.
I suspect they've been there for a long time, too.
Yeah.
You know, but in terms of what we observed, the site conditions do reflect what the plan that was submitted to the commission. I think it's our opinion, based on our review, that all of the work that's being done is outside of any wetland area, the pond and so on. So, I mean, speaking only for myself, I'm satisfied that, you know, that we would issue a negative determination of applicability and that we really don't have jurisdiction on this. So, and if anyone wants to chime in, as always, please do so.
I have a concern. You're breaking up the boulders. Where are they going? You said they will be removed.
The boulders?
The boulders, the
I'll probably
large.
take them to my pit and Oxford. Yeah. You want them?
No, thank you. Right about the size of my deck.
No, we have an industrial park in Oxford.
Okay.
I do have a question though. I mean, you hope to build this fall, or are you gonna wait until the spring?
Well, this cost me 3 weeks. And I made it 43 years as a developer, never been to a conservation commission, because I always stay 101 feet out of the wetlands.
Uh-huh.
But I have this house sold, and I also have a $2,000 a week penalty clause for every day I'm late.
I see.
So I called the well company, say, I'll go ask Downey again tomorrow if my well permit's ready, and I'll put the well in the next day. I've got it sold, and,
So you hope to get it built before the end of the year?
oh yeah.
Good, excellent.
They're supposed to be in by February, which may not happen now, but
Okay,
I'll do my best.
I understand. All right, if there are no questions, is there a motion to close?
I'll move to close.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed is a vote. Is there another motion?
Second that. Do we get a second? Who seconded that?
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
I did it in my head though. I didn't say it out loud.
Use your words.
Did use your words, I know.
Is there another motion?
I moved to put a negative determination or do a negative determination, there you go,
Applicability?
of applicability for 100 Old Commons Road. Is that the address?
yes, 1 on Old Common Road,
Is there
yeah.
a second?
I'll sit.
Go ahead.
No problem. Either.
Flip a coin.
Carolyn, you got it this
Thank
time.
you.
All right. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so vote. All right, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Have a good night. See you, Michelle.
I'll get that to you ASAP,
Thank you.
and I'll let Darlene know too.
All right, if you could do that, I'd
Yeah.
be grateful.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, good night.
You too.
We need a determination of ability was.
I've had a problem with my words lately. It's not good.
You're right, it's probably not good.
It's not good.
No.
Mike, what was the property on Old Common Road? Was it 104?
Yep.
We went to?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went by there the other day, to see if they had put in the
Waddles?
waddles.
Yeah.
They, from what I could see, difficult is to park there.
Yeah.
From what I could see, they were right along.
Okay, excellent.
You said you could probably only see mostly the stakes from the street. where
They
they were
actually kind of
staked.
parked across the street rather than these,
Yeah.
but I did not walk it.
Yeah,
I had walked it.
I'm gonna leave, like last Friday, I thought they were just joking about the flood warnings. It was crazy, right?
My daughter's house is really had a hard time, yeah.
We were on 290 right before it totally became impassable.
oh my God.
And it was, yeah, it was,
Were you
it's
able
not
to get
something,
off?
I can't remember the last time Worcester got 4 inches of rain in a matter of a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It was it was impressive.
Yeah.
Were you able to get off?
Oh, yeah, we did. We just, yeah.
My nephew was coming from Framingham, they kept closing down the Mass Pike, all the exits to Mass Pike, so I kept having to go farther and farther away.
This scared me a lot because he had to go through such a, they closed the CCU
I'm
and
sure
through
house like just
Oh,
before.
and they had to
wow.
come home, it was just
290.
concerned.
And
And when
some
she was out
by
at
the
Lightning, I was trying to keep things away from the house. So Dudley got bad.
Yeah, water
Where were you? You were around the corner?
Well, I went around the corner, I'm like, you know where the new
Yeah,
Goddard school
around the
is?
corner.
Yeah. I came around the corner, I saw a puddle, I was like, yeah, I was in my Jeep, I'm like, whatever, it's gonna be a little water. Holy, it went all the way over my Jeep. Like it was everywhere, I was like pulling into the other lane, I can't see, I'm like, I'm going directly home without passing. My friends were like, yeah, we're going home, I'm like,
This is a mother.
staying there.
He still had leaves in the back, that was a very high ceiling.
Mr. Grabowski, we have a few minutes before our 7:30 public hearing, which I understand is going to be continued.
Yes, sir.
You're here for Mr. Piro?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, why don't you come on up?
You can come up to Mike, I believe. They'll
Please.
allow you up there. They set up there.
It's okay, we're friendly,
Oh, Mike. Mike.
mostly.
We'll invite occasionally.
Kind of violations, depends on how friendly they are. It might be. Thank you, if you have the time. It's a request for certificate of compliance. As you're aware of the project, Perot Auto Sales, and there was some filling on Town of Auburn property, which is associated with the school system. There's some frontage we have on 12. The main address for that school system property is on West Street. It's a piece of property the town wasn't using. There was some fill pushed into the wetland system, right on the periphery of it. We went in with a mini excavator under my guidance with Mr. Perot's contractor, removed the fill down to the original soil underneath that fill. It was quite distinct, the boundary between the two. There was brush and leaves that were filled over. Mike didn't remove any material over the slope or down into the wetland. If you had a chance to review the site, or if you haven't, obviously we're available for that site inspection. You can demonstrate that the little knobs of old material that was out there, and the material in between that were removed all the way back to wetland flag 4A. Then we planted it with New England wetland plant, bush species, silky dogwood, and common winterberry. It was 15 species, 15 plants, and we put them along the edge and down towards the bottom. But the very base of that wetland system, there was minimal fill. It was mostly on the slope going down. The wetland is dominated by silky dogwood, so we utilized more of those species in there. They're thriving. It was a very small area. The buffer zone was altered more so. We cleaned the buffer zone up, took the stumps out, took the boulders out, reseeded that buffer zone area, and cleaned all along the trash that was along that whole wetland, because it had been trashed over the years from the previous owner and from others. So now we're keeping it clean. I think we removed the 2 cars that had been on the side of the building too, that were a problem. Removed them.
Those are gone.
Those are gone.
Okay. All right.
So,
Well, I think we were way late. I know I had actually hoped to get out this weekend to make some site visits, and I think mostly because of the weather and the muck that it left, we weren't able to do it. I have a conflict for this coming Saturday. Our next meeting will be November 16th.
yes, sir.
So my thought would be, if not next Saturday, the following Saturday to do a site visit.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what day that is.
6,
Fifth, maybe?
5.
The 5th is Saturday, yeah?
11,
Fifth is
5,
Saturday.
16.
Or the 12th.
Yeah, so if you're available on November 5th,
Yes.
It's a Saturday?
it is a Saturday,
Sure.
okay? And 9 o'clock, weather permitting, of course.
Thank you.
9 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
Is that too early for you?
Right.
Okay.
All
right, 9 a.m.
Friday nights.
I mean, Mr. Carroll, we don't want to put you out.
Thank you very much for that nice
Yes,
time.
yeah.
We truly appreciate it that we can get out there. Maybe
Really?
maybe-
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I'll program you a phone to give
He's
you a
my
ring
kind
on
of
it.
man.
Oh, me too, I forget about it
And then I'm also
sometimes.
thinking, I assume you're also here for
Mr. Fon,
Mr. Fon and Ms. Lee.
Right.
Ms. Lee, excuse me, yes.
Yes.
It's under her name.
We could also do a site walk after Mr. Pirro. In fact, Mr. Pirro, this is what we can do for you, all right? 9 o'clock is too early for you.
Uh-oh.
We can make it for 9:30.
There you go. Is that better?
I go to the other place first.
Yeah,
Mike, take what we first have and let's
Let's
get
see.
this rolling.
Because,
9
Mr.
o'clock.
Pirro, we want to make you happy.
perfect.
If that's
9
possible.
o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Thank
O'clock
you.
good? All right,
you
so
very
we'll
much.
do Mr. Fon immediately thereafter, say 9:30.
Thank you, sir.
Do we have to vote on any of this, or?
Nope.
9:30 inspection of Mr. Fon.
November
He
5th.
will be walking in.
You're gonna see complete, beautiful.
I can't wait.
I'm sure.
And we're gonna teach Mr. Perot how to keep things clean over there. We've been drilling him on this subject.
Cost me a lot of money, you know, it's
Buffer
clean.
zone, well, now he understands a little bit more about wetland
Oh,
regulations.
do
now.
I ever?
You know, Mr. Pirro, if we've aided your education, then I feel we've accomplished something.
No, I went to college here, right here in town.
I don't realize that I was
He's
at
a
college.
city boy, so you gotta forgive him. I'm not trying to make fun of him.
But I get a good education.
Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Bond will be walking in at around 7:30. I'll wait for that, so he'll understand what's justified
Okay,
also. Thank
very
you.
good.
Appreciate your time.
That's probably-
I know that if you had a moment, Ms. Davies, there was a report I emailed to the conservation on Mr. Diamond, if we could just brief on a small point. It's not the project itself. Where I'm talking to Ms. Davies, looking at the entire system,
Mhm.
the entire system starts at Prime and comes down through there. If you review the latest 42 pages I sent, the last package, it did have a concern of an erosion gully up gradient of the Diamond site. The gully is quite deep. It's expanded. It's a new gully that's continuing. So it's not something that's been there for years. There is a photo exhibit in my package to you, Ms. Davies.
Right.
And if you happen to look at that, because you happen to have an NOI for the project above you, and it's also 3 feet to 4 feet of sand. Well, there's a stone wall from the erosion gully that came down, clogged pores in the stone wall, created approximately 3.5 feet of sand buildup behind it. So if you're standing below the wall, and the wall comes up to about here on you, you're looking level with the sand on the other side, on the upgrading side. We're trying to address the entire system by at least bringing that to your attention so that maybe we can both take care, if we get our permit down below, that we take care of our site, the DOT site, and then the above site.
Well, have you had any contact with them?
No, I gave this information to you as part of my package, and we hope
Right.
that, and that's it. I mean, I'm not I'm not one to, I think I'm leaving it in your hands, and Ms. Davies, to maybe make a comment to the commission about that some stabilization needs to happen up there. Possibly with their new system, if they have new drainage, they're gonna take care of anything else coming down. But it had come down, it's still moving down, and the erosion gully would need to be addressed so that it doesn't, at least in the woods, continue.
I thought they had something with that though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's already being addressed.
Yeah.
So their own
I think that's
consultants brought it
already-
up?
Yeah.
The erosion, in the woods, the erosion?
Ryan's is doing a review,
Yeah.
and Kelly Engineering is the engineering, Ecotech's involved.
So if they already identified it, then that's the
Well, I don't
greatest
know if they
thing.
identified it, but they've got a detention basin there, and they had to heighten the berm, and.
That might not have addressed the erosion gully in the intermittent stream in the
Okay.
woods.
I think what we can do is, we can probably address that in our order of conditions.
If you choose, but you do have an exhibit, and you know, if your own consultants look at that up there, they'll see that it is is something that should be addressed. I'm just making a point that I believe you would say yourself that it should be addressed.
Okay.
Okay, thank you again.
And
So
I
much.
think your clients,
Yes, Mr. Fon.
Yes,
They, because of the inclement weather over the weekend, they had not had an opportunity, if I might, Chairman, to look at the site. They've scheduled.
say goodnight.
Good night, Mr.
Good night,
Perot.
Mr. Perot.
They've
Good night,
scheduled
Mike.
to do their geosite inspection the same time as Mr. Perot on 11/5. Because they need to look at it. That's where we stand.
now, if it's, if there's a foot of snow on the ground, then we won't be out, but hopefully, and
Don't
I
even
said
say
only
that.
partially in jest.
I'll shovel it for you.
All right,
Just a walkway.
we'll see you on November 5th.
Thank you. Thank you, that's the best we
Okay.
can do.
So November 5th around 9:30.
This might be a Board of Health issue, let's see, I did bring up Mr. Fon, this is for you. The fence that you had them put up, this is what's occurring around the side of the fence, if I could give that to you. Whoever loves that Mountain Dew, they also love to put it in bags, and even though it was picked up the last time when I first brought this to your attention.
Right.
Now, there's 4 bags in the woods, more trash is going over the edge,
kidding.
more of their grass clippings from Applebee's, and actually some little bit of concrete just came in. They must have concreted something, so they dumped that over. That's that white little pile on the lower picture. So it is a total, still a mess coming off the Applebee's property.
Right, of course, we
yeah.
don't know if Applebee's is actually depositing it.
Well, no, it's coming off the Applebee's property, that's all I
Right.
can say. The grass, well, the grass in the,
Did they remove the person that was staying
Yes.
there?
that person's been gone. It's such an odd thing, that little place, because I was over there, if you have that extra moment. It's an odd place, because I pulled in there, because sometimes when I'm on 12, instead of going up the side road and coming in the Pioneer to take the photos that I do take, which I have some, pull in there and somebody's over there on the side of their car doing things.
Uh-huh.
And the guy jumps, so it's a weird place. We would like to see it closed off more. And I'm not just kidding about that thing.
Well, I think perhaps we
The
can
Board of Health
consider
might-
sending them a letter, or certainly the
Yeah.
Board
The
of
Board of
Health.
Health might address it a second time, that there might be a little bit more fencing. I know Mr. Bond would like to see that, but whoever's happens to like that place to dump their bag, it's probably not Applebee's, because I can't see them drinking that much Mountain Dew. But
They're not gonna have it in
But
containers.
what was the plant, the hostess? Back in a month and a half ago, the hostess and some lily were clipped in the yard of the little islands they have, and that stuff was over that bag. So I still think that the landscapers didn't get the idea that this is not the place to throw their material. And I have the same problem with the Diamond people, and I've actually written a letter that's part of my package, that everybody that works on that site has to receive this letter, it's in your package, that says, there's nothing to go over Russell, because that's been an ongoing problem there, and I want to cut it out and show up something positive to the board, so I added that in. Whatever has to happen at Applebee's, there's still some of their material with the clippings, it appears. This other stuff is somebody else, that's their place to dump.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Can I leave this with you?
Sure, I'll
Sure.
keep it, Glenn, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'll send
Thank
a
you
letter.
again, thank you so much. when we have that inspection, if you don't say anything to anyone, I just assume you see the thing and
Yeah.
maybe before it
Yeah,
gets
we'll
clear.
take a look. 'cause
Okay, and
we're-
then maybe the board help to do something, just to see that it is an ongoing problem.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good week.
Thanks for
Thank
your
you.
issues, Glenn. There you go.
That line tick, I'm telling you.
Okay. Somebody left that there?
Okay.
Sure, give it to Cheryl,
All
sure.
right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Lucia.
Okay.
At 9:30.
I'll call him tomorrow and tell him we have it.
All right, the next item on our agenda is 7:30 public hearing for the Mass Family LLC Notice of Intent. As I think Mr. Kowalski alluded to before, well, we had retained Jillian Davies from the BSC Group to do our peer review. She advised me today, in response to an email, that she has not completed her review. We then reached out to Mr. Kowalski on behalf of the Mass Family LLC to continue this matter to our next meeting, which will be on November 16th. They agreed to continue, so is there a motion?
Make a motion that we continue the Masad Family LLC.
Till November 16th?
Public
So
hearing.
the next meeting, November 16th.
Do we have anything on the agenda for that night?
We do, let me see what I was thinking of. I was thinking of keeping it,
At 7:30?
oh, hey, John. Oh, yeah, he's good, he's on it for 8, I forgot.
Yeah, he's on me. Yep. This person's
Good thing you came.
That's okay, I'll be quick here.
This one,
You don't know if we have anything on?
I'm thinking I've got 7 and 7:15.
Okay. Well, in that case, why don't we put Massett on for 7:30?
Okay.
Okay, and
I don't remember the change.
is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Okay. Okay, we have a few minutes before the 7:45 public hearing. I think members of the board are aware of a situation where a local, I think, landscaping company, or maybe a hydro seed company, was draining water, taking water from any pond and using it for a project that we have learned, or Matt Benoit learned, is actually ongoing in Oxford. I did a little research to determine what the requirements are, and there is, with respect to a drawdown or the use of water from water resources, it is controlled by something called the Massachusetts Water Management Act, which is Chapter 21G. To make a long story short, according to this, while there is permitting required, it appears that permitting is only required if someone who's withdrawing water is using in excess of 100,000 gallons per day. Now, that strikes me to be a lot of water. And I mean, a couple of other things came to mind in terms of how do you regulate that, or how do you control if someone, so if someone says they're using 95,000 gallons of water a day, how do you know that that in fact is the case? So Matt had done some additional research, and apparently the town of Chelmsford had the same problem or issue. And they decided to actually amend their bylaw to prevent these companies from withdrawing water or using water. I mean, with certain exceptions, but I think again they were concerned that these types of carriers, if you will, or companies were just taking water out, not necessarily paying attention to any potential backwash or certainly the amount of volume. And I think the reason why we're sensitive to this issue is because of the ongoing drought that we've had. I think the 4 inches of water that we had, or rain we had on Friday, probably helped to put a dent in it, but nevertheless, I think it's an ongoing problem. And I think what's disturbing to me is that no one appears to be monitoring the amount of water that's being withdrawn. And again, in this particular case as well, it appears that whatever water was being withdrawn from, say, Eddie Pond or other water sources wasn't even being used for any projects in Auburn. So we had issued, if you recall, we had issued an enforcement order based on a complaint that was filed by Rick Ringard prior to our last meeting. There was some communication with Mr. Orello at Hydrograss. He advised Sheila that he was going to be in Florida
Yes, I believe so.
and would not be available for tonight's meeting, but that he would cease and desist, not take water from any water source in Auburn, and that he would appear at our meeting on November 16th. So, I mean, I think we have a couple of options here, and I think what I would like to do, I'd like to just maybe generate some discussion on whether this is something that we want to regulate or even prohibit, or not, you know?
I think we should regulate it. I don't know if I'm biased, but him taking that water out of, and actually this note actually disturbed me even more, because this is that they have to take it from different water sources.
Right.
They should not always take from the same water body. There's weeds in every single one of the lakes, and they're different in here. By him putting that hose in, you don't know what you're dragging from pond to pond.
And just to, what Michelle's referring to is an email that apparently was produced by Mr. Orello after he got our enforcement order, saying that in fact he had gotten the green light or an okay from DEP to basically withdraw the water. This is an email from a Harvey Israelian. The date is June 20th of 2014. It's to a P. Lewis at hydrograsstech.com. Apparently, it's a copy of an email from an Officer Conlon at the Hopedale Police Department.
And a Nick Child.
And then a Nick Child at DEP.
Yep.
I'm not even sure what the questions are, though. I mean, all we've got is the
Exactly,
one
we
page.
only have this. Where's
Yeah.
all the rest of it? There had to have been a ton of other emails that have gone on back and forth.
So-
Right, there's
so-
no, yeah.
So in any event, I mean, if Mr., and again, we can ask him in November, but I'm not persuaded that this gives Hydrograss a blank slate or a carte blanche to take as much water as they want.
All right.
I will say, though, in terms of regulating it, that if that is the case, if we want them to apply for a permit, we also have to decide, or I think some of the issues are, how much water they'll be allowed to withdraw at any time. And of course, a big problem in terms of regulating is how do you enforce it?
Yeah, who's gonna police them when they take
Exactly.
water?
Oh, that's
know?
a problem, but then why not prohibit it? There wouldn't be a
And that's-
problem in
And apparently,
monitoring it.
that's, I mean, I don't know what the thought process was in Chelmsford, but I suspect they probably had the same sort of discussion, and I think they came up with that conclusion as well, that they may
So
not...
do we need to add that into our bylaws? Is that what
Well-
we do? We
Well-
will need to add that in,
I think so.
and that comes up when?
What would it be, right?
Well,
We'd have to have a public hearing type of thing.
All right.
yeah, and it's
Well, I thought
something...
that there was like a time that we
It
had.
doesn't have to be approved by the Attorney General's office. It would have to be reviewed by Town Council. But again, I mean, I think before we do this, I think we just kind of need to consider, the ramifications of doing it. And I think we also certainly need to hear from Mr. Orella before we take any further action. So really, my hope was that we would just have an opportunity to discuss it and maybe come up with, share our thoughts and maybe come up with some sort of plan.
My concern would be prohibiting it for out-of-towners. Regulating it,
Yes, yeah.
perhaps, possibly, but again, the question is how do we monitor it? For in-town, irregardless of a water ban.
Yeah, because what if the fire department, and I think that the way that
Really?
Chelmsford actually words it is, if there is, if the fire department
Finds
needs it, if
Right.
any of that,
Of course,
if that
of course.
happens.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, the way that it was written in their bylaw, I think actually works pretty well. It's prohibited
And there's
unless
fines.
it's, right.
Right.
You know, The difference, what I was gonna say is the difference between Auburn and Chelmsford is that they have a full-time conservation agent. And we don't have even a part-time one, so that, I think is an issue.
How would that matter then? That
Well,
person could be monitoring?
Nobody
Yeah.
to monitor it, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I think that would, that would be part of their job function. And again, enforcement is always an issue. And especially when it's a volunteer board and we don't have anyone working on a full-time basis to act as a conservation agent, so.
Are there any issues of reciprocity whereby this is being used in Oxford? Are they reciprocating to us in any way for
I'm-
anything else?
Well,
That doesn't have to do with Oxford.
I'm not even sure the town of
Do we owe them
Oxford,
anything?
Knows about it.
I'm not sure that the town of Oxford knows about it.
Okay.
All I know, and the other issue too, of course, is that if you think about it, it's a resource that they're using in connection with a paid contract, so they're getting paid. And it seems to me the water certainly has value, and it certainly has even more value in a drought situation. So
Absolutely.
the idea that they're allowed to use our water for a project that's not within the town, it's kind of galling.
Right.
And do they even have a water ban currently, Oxford?
I don't
They
know.
have to.
I don't
They
think
would
so.
have to have a
Yeah.
water
They wouldn't
ban.
have to, no, not that they would have to, I'm just
You know?
inquiring
I would
as to
think
whether.
so.
I would think.
I think all of us.
You know, I haven't spoken to Mr. Smith at the Warren District about this, but I think he might have some comments or some thoughts on this as well.
Don't
Who
pull
doesn't
it
have a water
away.
ban?
And I know, I think Darlene does too. I know
Yeah.
Darlene, and that's Darlene Coyle, couldn't be here tonight, but she has expressed an interest in this process, so.
Dudley has no water ban.
Can we invite them to our
Dudley
next
has no
meeting?
water?
No.
Discussion about
My
it.
daughter's there, her
We
daughter's
can.
there. Oh, Dudley.
I thought they couldn't.
She said, we don't have a water ban, well, that's what she said.
It's a partial one because I know
Is it a
they
partial,
could
it's
be
a
out
voluntary maybe?
watering
Okay.
your lawn or washing your car.
And who's doing that? Well, washing the cars now, maybe.
Louise had actually made a suggestion, which I think makes a lot of sense. She suggested that we invite Mr. Coyle and Mr. Smith and Darlene Coyle to our next meeting on this issue.
Yes.
And so maybe, shall we say 8 o'clock?
That'd be good.
Ken Smith, absolutely.
So can we, is there a motion to that effect?
Why don't we not give a time and let me just double check the
Okay.
agendas? I'd rather like squeeze them in the beginning.
All right.
Because I don't know how long Diamond Chevrolet is going to,
I understand.
and
All
I
right.
have to make people.
Well, I mean,
So let
once
me
you have
just
a,
double check. I'm pretty sure I've scheduled
Once
two
you-
other hearings, so.
once you have a sense of what the agenda is going to look like,
Okay.
you know, I'm certainly happy to let you schedule it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure.
So is there a motion to that effect?
I make a motion that we invite Bill Coyle and Darlene Coyle and Mr. Smith to our next meeting, November 16th. Whatever time Sheila deems acceptable.
16th, right? I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, great. Is anyone from the Sportsman's Club coming tonight?
I hope so.
7:45 it is, so
Right. Okay.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do the minutes then for the last meeting? They knew they had to come, right?
Yeah, well, I would imagine so.
Well, don't assume anything.
Scott Jordan, I would think he'd
Oh,
know.
yeah, Scott
Yeah.
would know. Okay.
Maybe forgot. People forget.
No,
I
Michelle.
I would hope he would.
October 12th. I'm hoping he's knowing it was tonight. Worst case scenario, we can continue.
Well, no, I'm looking at his cover letter of October 12th, and it says, he makes reference to looking forward to discussing the project tonight,
Okay.
unless it didn't get diaried properly for him. So in any event, why don't we, while we're waiting for Mr. Jordan to come, hopefully, why don't we go over the meeting minutes for October 12th?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
So many people have got colds, it's awful.
Captain Trips.
Line down under enforcement order issue.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, this isn't a correction.
Oh,
This is basically talking
Really?
from our last meeting under the Auburn Wetland Bylaw 12-2, which is why we issued a cease and desist order. So as far as having to add something to the bylaw that we discussed a little while ago, it's already, I imagine it's already
Oh,
addressed in
okay.
there.
well, it is, yeah.
Okay. She-
We've got water down there.
Do we?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
Just go say.
She has a cough syrup with codeine in it is what she needs, because that sounds like it hurts really bad.
Yeah, that can't be good.
My dad had pneumonia and she coughed for 4 weeks afterwards, and I double checked her again.
Really?
Spotted pneumonia on her. Got her right after Labor Day, just finished coughing again last week.
It's because it goes from 80 to 40. It's a little weird. Our bodies can't really
And
adjust.
she's a teacher, so she's getting it from her
Yeah.
dad.
How was the wedding, John?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Was it that Saturday or Friday? Was it?
It was Friday.
It was Friday.
Yes. Yeah. It was. They both have such a good group of friends. And that's what really made it nice.
Where was it?
Sturbridge Village, old Sturbridge Village. It was a great venue. Yeah.
And where are they going on their honeymoon?
Um,
What does he
Well,
know?
they haven't gone yet.
Oh, okay.
They haven't gone yet. He was back to work Monday.
Oh.
Boy, what dedication, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. They had already had the trip planned. It's in November. I
Okay.
believe. So, but it was a wonderful time.
Good.
You okay?
Yeah, fine, thanks. I haven't done that
You're
all
a
day.
trooper. I wouldn't have come here
All day.
tonight.
Why did you tell me that?
I do that. I feel fine. I feel fine.
I'm just being honest. There's no way I would have been in bed with a
I
whiskey
just had a
party.
little tickle right there, it just wouldn't go away.
So anyway, Sheila,
Yes.
under, on the first page,
Yeah?
the line beginning with my name, you say it falls under the Town of Auburn Wetland Bylaws, comma,
Yeah.
12.2.
Yeah.
I would just put a period after 12.2 and just cross out the remainder of that sentence.
Okay.
It doesn't add anything, frankly.
So would there be a fine in place then if we have this in our regulations and he did it anyway?
Could we issue a fine? We could. And we certainly have the right to do that, so that's why it's important that Mr. Arello come to our next meeting.
Okay.
Aside from that, Sheila, I have no other corrections.
Wow,
Sure. That's
I'm
awesome.
getting good, huh?
I'll tell you.
Don't want to go to your head now.
Practice makes
Can I
right.
just ask a question, because I'm not good at correcting anybody, so I'm just gonna ask. Where, at the bottom, on page 1, it says present for the hearing of justice, blah, blah, blah. So the second line, change the drainage pipes, should it be from 1 36-inch to 2 18-inch concrete
Where
pipes?
are we, where are we?
Where's that?
On the first page at the
Oh.
bottom.
Okay.
Am I on the wrong set of minutes?
You are, that's from September.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
well, I can't find it.
I say, that sounds familiar. I think that was that.
Yeah, that was yours.
Okay.
Are there any other changes to
No.
the meeting minutes for October 12th?
No, yeah.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the
Yeah, I'm on the
meeting
right
minutes
one.
of October 12th as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
I told you I wasn't good at going over this at all.
All right.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We all have our strengths.
Okay. We are moving right along here. So we got save the date for MACC next March.
Oh, boy.
And I think I did send you, this information regarding the dues and then some of the services that they have.
Did you sent us that?
Didn't I? Well, they
Oh,
went and
maybe I
changed
missed
my
it.
computer
Oh, I
on
missed
Monday, so
I couldn't
I
miss
thought
it.
I scanned
Are
and
they?
sent it to everybody.
They're changing your computer.
They did.
I've got now
Oh.
just this little box like this sitting on my desk.
Yeah.
My
Do you still,
Full model
do you still have a
desktop.
desktop? Or do you
I
have
did,
a
but It's
laptop?
gone now.
Oh, yeah?
The desktop,
Okay.
gone.
Oh, it's just your
So-
unit?
And I was having trouble trying to open things up on most of the day Monday, so. but
Is
it's all
it
fixed
Windows
now.
or Apple? Probably Windows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Windows.
Yeah, Apple would probably be a little too expensive for the town.
There used to be 8 courses, I think, Mike. Now there's 5 required and
You guys are making me cough, seriously.
6 electives. But you need a total of 8, I guess.
I guess.
I thought they only offered 8. It looks like they offer 11 now, so
Good.
impressive.
Let's see that. I just took the first 2.
They put on very worthwhile programs.
I enjoyed it last year. Go this year.
So we have a few minutes before we can reach you gentlemen at 8 o'clock. So thank you for your patience.
2. I must have done 1 too. I think that's what it was. 1, 3, and 4. Remember these 2 told me to say, no, Carolyn, take 1 and 2. I didn't do it. So now I have
Pictures?
3.
You got
You can
pictures?
take them going, it's good. Sometimes
I think
they
Friday
don't
if we
offer
get 'em.
them.
Really?
You know,
Well,
you
that's
know.
good.
Right, right.
Say,
All
the
of
budget,
the-
you
all
can't,
of
Yeah.
you can't take them in August.
So where are you going on the honeymoon?
Dominican Republic.
Nice. Which
I
resort?
was thinking it'd be right after the wedding.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What was the
No,
date?
I don't
What
remember.
was the date, the 14th?
Yes.
My cousin was, we were at the Doubletree Hilton on the next day, on the 15th. I said, I thought you just did the
Yeah,
marathon.
that's Friday. Yeah, the good thing is that we cannot last Friday.
Yes.
I know. And they're going to Brazil.
Oh,
She wasn't pregnant.
yeah, yeah,
I know, the Zika virus. No, they're going to Brazil, as a matter of fact.
yeah.
Want to see this, Michelle? You want to see this, Mike?
Sure.
No. You're gonna send it to me 6,000 more
I did scan
times.
it. I just maybe
Yeah, I
didn't
think
send it.
actually, I think they sent it to me directly, so.
Oh, yeah,
I did, I remember seeing it, I said, I just ignored it, basically.
yeah.
See it again. I remember the date, though, I do.
Yeah.
I put it aside, I'm gonna go.
Excuse me.
No, no worries. It's usually my birthday weekend. I think this is
Your birthday, when's your birthday?
the 27th of February.
Oh, mine's the 10th of March.
Ah, there you go. We're close to Pisces. We're cool. We're good.
Yep.
Last year. What day is this? Is there a day?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday the 4th.
March.
Oh, it's March 4th?
It was the 5th last year.
Yeah, don't plan a trip for that day.
I know. Usually March you're okay. March I'm shackled to my desk. So
Excellent food,
Yeah,
too.
planning everyone else's
planning
trips.
everybody else's trips.
I'll make sure I send this to everyone, just. Okay, so this is site visit.
I guess, the, Christmas club.
Today, yeah.
Doesn't look
Almost.
like it.
Couple more minutes.
I have my husband's beef for the truck.
Let's see how the Cubs in Cleveland are doing.
I was
Yeah.
just going to pick up my bag
Really?
and look for that, actually. Thank you, Mary.
It's okay.
I think the Cubs should win though.
They lost last night.
Well,
Oh, they did? Oh.
they're,
I have no vested interest in it. I don't really
I
like
like
baseball
both.
that much. It's boring.
For those who care,
I can't.
Leo or Tito, you know?
it's the,
Yeah, I can't.
it's the bottom of the second inning, 1 out. The Cubs are leading the Indians 1-0.
They're gonna win tonight too, the Cubs. I love Johnny Lester, he's with the Cubs, and I respect Theo Epstein, who replaced a lot of Red Sox players. But Francona got a bad rap, and I like him.
Cleveland's got Miller though, and that guy's money.
Oh, no,
He's been
I
close.
know. They're expected.
Really? Like that
Cubs
in a little-
expected.
How about the Bruins?
I went to the game last night.
They did.
It was worse than the last game I went to before that. We were on the glass. That one was 6-2. Last night was 5-0.
Oh,
They
That's
had
painful.
no goalies, and they just weren't playing. They just were not doing anything. Backus was out. I wanted to see him. He wasn't even there. He had something removed from his elbow today or something, so he's out.
Road that goes
Backus.
down to.
Yeah, but they were horrible. I couldn't, I'm
Town
like,
had put in a, there was a wetland issue in that area at that time.
That was painful.
Since
Yeah, it was.
It's on sports afterwards.
built in there, is
but
there
the place we
still an
parked
issue in that
in
area,
North
you
End,
know?
$16.
Because-
Cheapest
Oh, no
place I've
way.
ever found in Boston. And we went by Mike's Pastry on the way in and
Oh,
on the
you
way
gotta
out. And I
love
stopped
that.
all
Did
the
you get the
time.
lobster tail?
I did. I got a peanut butter brownie that was this big.
Oh, lobster tail's my most favorite thing.
Yeah.
You just peel them
There was
apart.
two people in line.
So good.
Go figure.
good.
It was about 4:30. Two people in line.
In that
That was it.
area
In the
where
afternoon?
We had looked
Yeah.
at that big
I
drainage.
couldn't believe it. And then on the way back, it was about 20.
I don't know. I mean, I have to take a look.
Good time.
To the extent it's still well.
And that place,
They should be
Raiders
using it
Park.
for their own private.
Uh-huh.
On Canal Street there. Place is on 4-story. It was a club or something.
I'm not sure
Awesome
just where
place. Like
the wetlands
4
are
different
now.
floors. They all
but
have big
what
screen
they-
TVs.
What then? We always go to the nichey little places. We never go to the...
It was a little.
Right across from Solomon's Tap, the little skinny narrow bar, it's about 100 yards long, right across the street from there.
As I walk through there quite
Eric,
often.
because he's Coast Guard Auxiliary.
We can take a
We
look.
stay at the Mariner's house,
Oh, nice.
right across from,
Okay.
sorry.
That's
We're
all
done
right.
now?
You're done now. So the next item on our agenda is the 8 o'clock public hearing, JW Land Development Notice of Intent for the construction of a duplex dwelling driveway, groundwater recharge system, etc. at property located at 26-28 Whitman Bailey Drive in Auburn. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. Mr. and Mr. Stelmark.
Anything?
Good evening. So, Carolyn, Louise, and
You.
I
No,
wasn't-
that's right, you
no, I
weren't.
was
No,
not
just
here.
why not?
Us went.
so the three of us
I was
went.
away.
Yeah,
Again.
excuses. 2 weeks ago, we went to look at the property and we walked the site. Looked a lot different from the last time I've been out there. You know,
Yeah.
well cleared out. We could see where the cul-de-sac was going to be constructed, and we went to the property. Everything again, to my mind, appeared as was shown on the plan that was submitted. So I have no issues with respect to what you're requesting. Is there any questions from the board?
Just so the board knows, after that heavy rain, everything was perfect up to the project. We didn't have one bit of washout anyway.
Oh, wow.
That's
Because
great.
we were lucky enough to get the blacktop in on Tuesday. And we had all the retention basins functioning at that point, as well as all the drainage. So everything just worked perfect.
That was a
We
good
didn't
test
have a
for it.
washout anyway.
Yeah, I guess so.
The worst thing was, we got about 10 inches of water in one of the foundation holes that are open.
I'm not sure you
We're
can
still
avoid
pumping
that.
up there now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure you
I-
are.
Goodness.
Now, those two are two separate units, right? The two separate units that we just went to look at in the area, the A&R lots, they're two separate ones. So two separate
One
houses.
building.
One.
It'll be one building,
Okay,
two
one
units.
duplex,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Okay, and we, as part of our order of conditions, we're going to have to grant your request for a waiver. Correct? Okay.
Yep.
All right, I have no questions. If anyone else doesn't have any question, is there a motion to close?
I move to close the hearing.
Is there a second?
Second that?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll
Thanks
be
for
voting
waiting.
on the order of conditions
Enjoy.
tonight.
Good night.
Thank you.
I'll be talking to you.
All right, I'll see you.
Good night.
Good night, good night. Thank you.
Did I give you one of these big ones, Michael?
I only have a little one, I think.
Yeah,
I have a second
we usually
one.
just give Michael the big one, and the rest of you get little ones. Did you get a big one?
I'm gonna think I did get a big one.
Yeah, well, maybe you gave me an extra one.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it's a big one.
I like this one.
All right, so before we can adjourn, we have two orders of condition issued tonight.
And we're going to have to continue the hearing for the sportsman's club, I guess?
Well, you know, obviously, he didn't call you. I suspect, and,
I
and,
should
you know.
have said, you know, there was, my phone was lit up, but I usually just check my emails, I don't check my phone.
I mean, we know Mr. Jordan
Yeah.
very well. We know Equitech very well, too. So I have to believe there was either an emergency or some extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest, though, is that we send them a letter. I mean, I don't know if they have enough time to get on our agenda for the next meeting. That's going to be up to them.
Did you want to just maybe continue it to the next meeting?
I don't know the
Thinking that would be
circumstances,
the
though.
easiest way to, well,
Well,
worst case scenario. we
does
just-
someone want to make a motion?
I make a motion that Sheila get in touch with them and then it can be continued, that you schedule them in around whatever
You
you've
can't do it,
got.
you have to vote tonight.
You have to
The
vote
meeting's
tonight?
Yeah.
No, we have to decide, we have to continue it
We'll vote to continue. So I make a motion that we vote to continue the hearing
to our,
for the Sportsman's Club to
Okay.
our 16th of November.
so it looks like we're gonna have a full agenda on the 16th then.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
We'll
All right.
keep it at the same time.
But you know what the same time, you don't know what times you've got though, right? Because we're
No,
not
but I would-
scheduling in the other ones.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot for the same time.
all right.
And who seconded that?
I did.
Jeez.
Louise did.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, a vote.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, so we, the order of conditions for Prime Motor Group.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do it?
All right, conditions, okay.
What were you going to do regarding that information Glenn gave you tonight?
You
Just-
close the public hearing.
Yeah, I know, but just issuing the order though, I didn't know if you were gonna add anything on there regarding that problem, or we can wait till the next hearing to
We
issue it.
No,
This is the problem, all right? The problem we have is that by having a meeting on November 16th, we have to issue an order of conditions tonight because it's going to be
Okay.
in 21 days.
All right.
If we had the meeting,
Okay.
if we had the meeting on November 9th, we'd be within the 21-day
Okay.
period to do the notice of conditions. So
Okay.
we're really bound, since we closed the public hearings,
Okay.
to do the orders of condition.
Could you just explain that 21 days from the time we had?
It's by statute,
That's from the time it was closed?
by the DEP regulation, that's
Okay.
correct.
Thank you.
Otherwise,
I
the
don't know what he was talking
the
about.
project is deemed,
So he's saying the retention basin over here?
no, he's talking about, you really need to go to the site to have an appreciation for, this is really, the wetland is below the dealership, and it's substantially below, in terms of grade, where it's located.
You went there. I not visited the site. That's the one time I-
In fact, I mean, it was so, we did not walk down there because there was probably, what, 30, 40-foot drop?
Oh,
Really?
yeah, it was steep.
It was not, so it wasn't safe for us to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but clearly the wetland area
Unless we
was
get some recovery.
was separate and distinct from the redevelopment of the dealership. So, all right, who wants to be the lucky person to,
I think it should be the one who visited.
I thought you were already.
No, I just want
All right,
to make
I'll-
sure. I think it was the one who visited it.
Yeah, you go ahead and tell me.
No, I just had it ready for you.
I make a motion that we issue an order of conditions for Prime Motor Group at 774 and 780 Washington Street and 10 Faith Ave. Standard order plus 1, 2, 3. Is there replication on there?
there's no
There isn't,
replication,
right?
there's no replication there.
5,
Mhm.
believe there is riprap on some of that. 7,
Okay,
8, 9, 11,
mhm,
12, and 13.
okay.
Sounds good.
All right, so just to repeat what Tom said, standard order of conditions plus special conditions, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 13.
Do we need to put anything on there about the fact that the plan?
All right, I'm just gonna put some thoughts out there, and if someone can restate it, that would be very helpful.
Okay.
It would be along the lines of, to the extent that there is any erosion in the wetland area affecting the adjacent property located at, and what's the address for Faith Avenue 4?
I don't even mean that. I mean the fact that the plan that we have, they're elevating it by, what, a half foot? Oh, that one? Oh, sorry.
That's a separate issue.
Okay.
All right.
Go with this one.
Okay. In order to address Mr. Grabowski's concern, my thought was that we include a special condition that any evidence of erosion in the wetland area will be remediated. Okay? So you got that right.
I wrote erosion in the wetland, if it affects the adjacent property, must be
Remediated as part of the project.
Yes.
I think that's enough.
Okay.
And then also, just to address your issue, the applicant should submit an updated plan
Okay.
if any changes are made after peer review.
Okay.
Okay, so those can be the other conditions.
Okay.
And is there a second to that motion?
I second it.
Okay, is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And did I have that right here somewhere?
No.
I thought I just took that out. Did I bury it? I did. Maybe? Double prime on the bottom of the one I had. I don't know if it is. There we go.
Sheila, do you have a copy of the notice of intent for the Stonlock project?
Yeah,
Okay. Can I see it?
sure.
Thanks.
Can I slide it?
Yes.
We're gonna try and go November 5th.
Yes.
So, okay, not necessarily, but it's just adding on to all the others that there's that bring 2 more units on, which we're asking for, the stomachs.
Sure.
Okay. So 13, 15 altogether, residences. The stomachs, there were 2 more units added on, and our units around the corner, that's what
They changed the whole subdivision from single family to
we
duplex.
did, right, that I was aware of, so each
Yeah.
one of those A&R units is.
This is,
Yeah.
the A&Rs are out on Gloucester. The subdivision is not A&R, but subdivision.
A&Rs are on
A&R around Gloucester.
Okay, okay.
There it is.
I thought I had one here.
I saw you write something
I was trying to look through
She
it.
does, yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah, you did.
All right,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's so much.
Okay. The last thing is the other conditions for 26-28 Whitman Village Drive in Auburn. Who wants to be the volunteer?
Which one is this for?
This is for the Stonlock project.
Okay.
26, 28, you can do that.
Whitman
right?
Bailey Drive?
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't go to that one either. Do it.
Yeah, you go right ahead. You do it. It's your turn.
Standard conditions. With 1, 2, 3. No repetition. 7. I'm sorry, well, yeah, 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 13. How does that sound? Did I miss anything?
All right, so I'm sorry. Standing
That's
order
okay.
plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9.
Are you adding 5?
I think I don't think I said
Didn't
5,
say
did
you
I?
are you adding
I didn't,
5?
okay.
I am
so
adding 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, add 5, you're up to
4?
5.
There's no 4.
No,
There's
I
no
didn't.
replica.
1, 2, 3, 5.
5,
1, 2, 3, 5. No, there's no rip rap. 1, 2, 3, 5,
7, no.
8.
Oh, 8.
There's no rip rap. That's okay. 9,
9,
11.
yep.
12. No, 12 doesn't apply because there's no alteration.
No.
She had said 10.
13, no.
10 does not apply.
No, no, haven't, not define either, no.
So 9, 11, and 13?
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, and 13?
Yep.
And also, since there's a request for a waiver, I think we have to add that, and we should actually at some point revise our special conditions to include that as standard language. So
Okay.
I would propose that the applicant's request for a waiver of requesting, okay, let me focus my thoughts here. The applicant has requested a waiver in order to perform work within the 50-foot buffer zone on the parcel at lot number 11, 26-28 Whitman Bailey Drive, Auburn, Massachusetts. After hearing thereon, the applicant's request for a waiver pursuant to 1.11, comma, waivers of regulations under the Town of Auburn Wetlands Protection Bylaw is hereby granted. You get that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would just put that in on that same area
I
that
would.
I'm putting the special conditions.
Yes.
Well, special conditions.
And what we really need to do is that's something we should, when we have time, maybe not next month, but in December, we can just come up with standard format language, and we can just add that to our special conditions.
All right, so
Okay.
she made the initial motion, you added to it. We're gonna second it?
I'll second it.
Okay? Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay.
Great.
Then we're all. So we're gonna get the time order, right?
Need to cite this on 7 West Street, is that it?
Determination, did we sign that?
We don't have to. Okay.
We
See?
signed the net for Lucia?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did sign that.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you pass that around for
Yeah,
us here.
I can get that, yeah. I usually keep it here, so I'm sure that we do
Okay.
that. So we've got the site visits for Pioneer and 770 Southbridge Street.
November 5th.
We need a signature page though for Stelmach. We need a signature page for Stelmach.
Oh, okay. There you go.
11/16. This is all
Yes.
11.
Just allows them to do it. We've got a rule for waiving.
I'm waiting it.
Yes, and yes, and yes, but okay.
That's what I'm taking.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any other business? If there is no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's opposed? No, it's a vote. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you in 3 weeks.